Hey guys, Panzerkunst here, and I've always wanted to make a video for World of Warplanes, but never really had the time. And seeing that we all have a lot of time on our hands now, I figure there's no excuse, so here we are. And I wanted to make a video showing kind of my style or what I think are the essential elements to boom and zoom fighting or energy fighting. And it's because when I'm in the game, I see a lot of players, especially newer ones or what have you. They get in their Spitfires or their turn fighters, and all they do is turn, 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 turn. No other kind of tactical elements are used. So I just wanted to show my style and kind of what I think about. So for this video, I chose the Tier 5 American Light Fighter, the P-40 Warhawk, because in my opinion, it's kind of one of the first ones that really shine in that sort of gameplay. From Tier 1 to 4, you're basically all turn fighters. There's not a lot of speed really going on, but this plane I think is one of the first ones where you can really incorporate that. So just to do a quick comparison of the Spitfire that I was talking about, which is arguably, some of the best all-around planes in the game, I came up with four things to think about: altitude, speed, firepower, and turn or maneuverability. So without getting too crazy into details, if we just look at altitude performance, you see P-40 has more. So basically, it can fly higher, it could stay higher, and the higher it is, it can maneuver a little bit better than the Spitfire. As you can see, it has about 400 meters of altitude advantage over that. So in my opinion, that's the first thing you want to look at. Who has an altitude advantage in the game? The second thing is speed. And as you can see, it's way faster. It's about 30 kilometers faster top speed with boost. And just kind of cruising speed, it's about 70 kilometers faster. So whenever you meet a Spitfire, if it's on an equal playing field, you're starting with a lot more speed. You already have the energy advantage. So kind of try to want to use that. The third thing is firepower, and this is where the P-40 lacks because here it shows all the guns. So if all the guns hit, it does 228 damage, cumulative damage, whereas a Spitfire can do 280. So in no way, shape, or form do you ever want to go head to head unless the Spitfire is low on HP. But you can't really use firepower in this plane. And the last thing is turn or maneuverability, which it's abysmal for the P-40 in comparison to the Spitfire. The last thing you ever want to do is turn with the Spitfire. So kind of what does all that mean? Basically, you just use speed. And with this pilot here, it's not a crazy trained pilot. I just use the engine guru to improve my speed. And I didn't want to specialize it because I wanted to show it kind of in its normal state of how it can perform. So I made a little slide on a PowerPoint to kind of show those four essential things. So I just want to go over that, and then I'll pull up some replays that show some of those things in action. So here's a cheesy little slide I made on PowerPoint, just illustrating the four essential elements that I think make up booming and zooming. And the first one being altitude. Having that advantage over your opponent, you can go anywhere from there. You can attack, you can escape, and you could also keep up your speed. So that's the number one thing I look for when I'm gonna be going into a battle or going one-on-one against someone. The second thing is speed. So let's say if you don't have the altitude advantage, you're both on an even playing field. If you're going faster, you have the ability to dive away, climb up, or just outpace them and kind of keep them away from you until you either can turn around to make another attack or hopefully get some help from bots or other players on your side. The third one I would say is firepower. And it's just straight up, can you outgun them or not? Very simple. If you know you have the firepower advantage, I would say full frontal assaults are viable, and you can try to get some critical damage to take out an engine, take out a wing, and that can give you some time to get away or give you enough time to turn around and make another attack. And the least important element, I would say, is turn, because when you turn, you slow down, you lose your speed, and that's kind of what you don't want to be doing when you're trying to boom and zoom. And getting into a turn fight, you can easily get into the dreaded circle of death, where you're just turning and turning, and it's just a matter of who has a tighter turn radius. So my kind of rule of thumb is, if I can win a turn fight in about less than 3 turns, I'll go ahead and take that fight, because it's worth it to me at that time. But if we're kind of evenly matched on a turning radius, and I know we're just going to be going in circles and circles and circles until something happens, I'll try to avoid that, because when you're doing that, you lose all your awareness of what's going on around you, and you're so susceptible to other attacks from anything. Even a bot can just slot in behind you and take you out. So altitude, speed, firepower, turn, ASFT. Maybe I can come up with an easier way to remember that, but those are the 4 essential things that I always think about when I'm going into a battle. So now I'll pull up some replays to kind of show each one of these aspects in action. Alright, so in this first replay, I'll push tab here to show the game. We got it's an airfield and 2 military bases. As you can see, I'm in the tier 5 P40, and I'm going up against difficult opponents, which is a tier 6 Spitfire, German Spit, a tier 6 XP55, and a specialized tier 5 Spitfire. So all these are heavy turn fighters, but this Spitfire also has some altitude. So I end up dying in this little clip, but I wanted to show these are some good tactics. So as you can see, I'm above the Spitfire 1A and the XP55 right now. They're not really paying attention to me, but this is number 1, altitude. I have the altitude. Number 2, speed. I have the speed. Firepower. I don't think I have more than any of them, actually. And turn. That's the only disadvantage I have. So let's see how this plays out right here.
Stay alert, pilots.
I'm diving in on the XP55 because he's the most dangerous one. He's not really doing much, so pretty easy. The Spitfire, I turn away from him. He's not paying attention to me, so I turn around. And now I'm diving on him. Dive, right? He's turning a perfect attack angle right into me. I'm just holding down the trigger. I'm making one pass, and I was able to get him in that pass. But at this moment, I realize that Spitfires is there, and that's very dangerous to me. So I want to deal with him immediately. So I turn into him, and he sees me, and what he's going to want to do now is turn. So I guess I really should have just kept going straight here, but as you can see, I make one turn. He's turning. Okay, at this moment, if I was to keep turning up with him, he would easily get the advantage. So instead of doing that, I'm gonna dive away from him. So, see that? Oh, see, I even turned a little bit too much. But look where he is already. He's already maneuvering to be behind me. So what do? I point the nose down, and I hit the boost, and I'm diving away. And look at his range. He's at 350, so I'm vulnerable. He starts firing, and he's not hitting me anymore. So basically, I dove away from him. Unfortunately, he probably sent this FW-190 on me, and he ends up killing me. But as you can see, the Spitfire had no chance to get me anymore. I'm way out of his range. You hear the bullets flying, and this Focke-Wulf just comes out of nowhere and starts pummeling me here. But as you can see, look how far away the Spitfire is. He's 760. I'm pulling away from him. So yes, I died in that situation, but as you can see, I was able to pull away from a Spitfire, which has superior speed, altitude, and it has every advantage over me. So that's one instance there. All right, so here's the next battle, next clip, I should say. This is also a tier 6 game, and for this particular instance, I'm going to be going against this XFL player, not the football league. But as I'm always preaching here, altitude, right? So I'm at 1500 meters, and this guy is right there. He's pretty far away from me. So I'm just up here, biding my time, picking and choosing what I want to do. I have the advantage right now. And sometimes when you look at the mini-map, it's kind of hard to see who's coming toward you, right? If you push the Alt key, you can see the arrows, but in the heat of the battle, one thing that I use is I just look at the distance. So he's at 1416 right now, right? Once I see that number going down, decreasing, I know he's coming toward me. So as a kind of rule of thumb, if I can't always be looking at the minimap, I look at the distance. How far are they? Are they coming toward me? So I'm still not sure what I want to do right here. I'm just like, all right. And he's getting a little closer, I'm noticing. So at this point, what do? I start to climb, which is one of the things I said you can do, right? So I notice he's getting closer. So if I keep flying level, he will come up on me. So what I do, I climb up, and the range is still decreasing. So without even knowing that much, I know he's coming for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep climbing, and he kind of leveled out there. You see how he stopped gaining altitude? So in my head, this is a time where I need to flip over and attack. I'm at 2,000 meters. I'm going not very fast, 447. So check it out. I'm going to flip over. I'm losing speed, but I'm going to gain it right back. And he's still climbing up. He's about to be stalling out. There's no way he could keep this going. What I know about the XFL, I think it has a 37 millimeter cannon. So he has, what do I have? I have the altitude. I'm gonna have the speed. I do not have the firepower or the turn. So knowing that he has a derp cannon, I'm gonna try to not give him a straight. I'm not gonna stay still. Basically, if I just stay still and fly right at him, I'm gonna present an easy target. So I'm gonna try to wiggle a little bit, and as you can see, he kind of stalls out. So we're really close now. I'm firing, he's firing, and if you can see, look at that. He's stalling out already. And I win that fight. He didn't land anything on me. I didn't present an easy target, and I kept my altitude advantage, and he was flying up, and that's exactly what you don't want to do. Alright, so in this clip, another tier 6 game. So I don't just show you top tier games with no bot, like World of Tanks. It's always top tier, no RD, right? Not here. Every game I've shown you so far is a tier 6 game, so I'm not going the easy route. So going along with that, this is an instance where everything I'm saying, everything I'm preaching, you do the right thing, and it doesn't work out. And you just have to give the other player credit. You can't win every single engagement, even though you follow everything to a T. So as you can see, I'm going up against a tier 5 Yak 7, which is a horrible performing plane, but it does have a huge cannon. And I from playing that myself, I know it's hard to hit. So that guy is over there, and as you see, I'm above him. And I'm like, I don't really take him seriously. I'm just thinking, He's shooting stuff over there. He doesn't really know what's going on. This is easy pickings for me. And he's shooting that bullfighter. And he's not even paying attention to me. He doesn't even know what's going on. So I make an attack. And then I think what happened is I saw he's on fire. So, you know, like when a dog sees a piece of meat, their eyes get all big. That's basically what I saw. I saw, oh, this is easy meat. This is easy prey. This is going to be a walk in the park. I don't really need to do much. So he's on fire. He puts it out and he only has 51 HP left. And look, I'm pretty close to being full HP. So he's in a really awkward position for a Yak 7 because there's no way a performance-based aircraft, the only thing going for it is it has a big gun. So, I mean, that just kind of looks funny. But he's in no way in any advantageous position right now. So what do I do? And now I see he's even on less HP. I dive up. I climb up, and I'm like, I'm just going to dive on him. He's hopeless. He has no clue what's going on. He's damaged. So before I even, just after the apex of my turn, he freaking hit me with the huge slug already. I mean, look at my plane. There's pieces of it in the air. So that was unexpected. I was like, oh, okay, well, he's not going to get lucky twice. He's not going to be able to shoot me again, you know? So I'm still feeling really comfortable here. And if you can just, if I can get a good angle here. He's coming straight at me. So totally not what you're supposed to do on his point of view. And look what happens. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And that's just the way it goes. Okay, so in this battle, it's another tier 6. And as you can see, I'm going to be pitted against this Spitfire 1M, which is the premium Iron Maiden Spitfire. And that's basically my biggest opponent. The most dangerous planes to me, tier 6 Spitfires or turn 1s. So I'm going to have to try to use everything I got because this was a pretty hard battle. Up to this point, we had already killed each other one time each. So right here, I'm trying to get back the command center. I'm going toward him, and let's see what I'm able to do here. So he's distracted. He's looking somewhere else. This hurricane's stalling out. And now he's, now I think he sees me. I'm making an attack. He's not paying attention. And I so wanted to get him right here. I'm like, I can't let this guy get away. See, he's on fire. And what does he do? He turns. But he immediately puts the fire out. So I was thinking, oh, I got this guy. And look what I have. I have the speed. I have the advantage. This guy is, he's done, right? So as you can see, I go straight. I dive. I don't turn with him. And look, he's already on my tail. He's already turning to get me. So I keep going. Dive away. I'm boosting. I'm way out of his range. There's nothing he can do right now. I'm safe. So at this point, I'm just getting more distance. And I see he's a safe distance away from me already. So I'm going to flip over. And just start to attack some of the ADA fighters because he's not paying attention to me right now. And then I notice him and look what he's doing. He's going next to the rocks. And this is a strategy people use to negate the distance that you have. So he's going behind the rocks. And what he wants to do is pop up at the last minute so I can't shoot him. So you see, now he's facing me and we're at a head-to-head. This is not an advantageous position for me because he has the firepower advantage. I take a shot. He dies below me. I almost crash into the castle and he immediately turns. He's turning. And I'm zooming, I'm boosting up. But then I realize I gotta dive and get away. So I keep going. He disengages, so I turn around again and start the whole process over. I'm diving, and look, he notices that and he's going to the rocks again. So if I would have killed him at initially over here, we would have had this already. But because he had that fire extinguisher, because he's so shifty, and look what he does here. He's hiding behind the rocks. He's going low to not allow me to shoot him. I have no angle on him. So he's just waiting for me. When I pass this hill, look how close we are. He's already trying to come back to me. So that's a tactic that negates everything that I'm doing. Because I'm fighting on the deck. I'm fighting on his terms right now. So I just dive away. And now he has some firing chances on me because I didn't really use speed very well there. I had to dodge the rock. So he's attacking, my engine's out, and now I'm pulling away. Pull away, and he's out of range.
Hang in there.
So right now I'm thinking, okay, I just saw he turned, so I'm gonna turn. And look how our HP is. Really low. So I'm like, alright, I gotta finish this guy. I turn. I have the altitude. I'm getting fast, and look what he does. He goes right behind the mountains again. So I see that. So if I continue going straight and attack him here, he negates everything I do. So instead of going straight across to the mountain, I'm gonna go up and come down so he can't hide behind the mountain. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna climb up here. I'm not boosting. And now as I come back down, he's not gonna have enough time as if I was if I would have went straight. And look how little he presents of himself. He's trying to play the terrain game. But because I went up, I used my altitude, I negated that part of his plan. So you see he's facing away. And I'm like, oh, I got him. I'm like, ready to kill him. Boom. So, not the most exciting there, but a Spitfire should have all the advantage over me in that situation. But as you can see, I dove, I got some distance, turned around, did it again. Dove, did it around. I never turned with him. He was smart by trying to use terrain to avoid me, which almost worked. But at the very last one, I was able to climb up, which he didn't expect, and dive down and get him there. So in conclusion, I hope you guys liked the video. Hope it was enjoyable. As I mentioned before, this is my first video, so definitely gotta work out some kinks. I'm aware it sounds like I have a lisp sometimes, but I can assure you I don't. Just gotta practice speaking into the mic, I guess. And hopefully I can make some more videos like this because I do enjoy it. I do like this game. And hopefully I can pull up some other interesting things and just give you a different point of view on this game and the kind of stuff I like to do and how I like to play it. So with that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.